There are two new events this month, and I want to talk about them. Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, I'm going to real quick just go over the Fusion XZ Plus event, which I'll get into, and the theme Chronicle. Now that both of them are out, and I've been able to play both of them, I just want to give a quick rundown on my thoughts, and just how I feel about these real quick. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the Fusion XZ Plus event, and honestly, I hate these Plus events. Not to mention the fact that I also just don't like the sheer quantity of these, like, Fusion XZ or Synchro XZ or Link Fusion or whatever it is. The, like, extra deck limitation mechanic festivals tends to be extremely boring. One, because we get them so often that they don't feel unique. And two, oftentimes they are paired with an additional mechanic. And so instead of being just XYZs or just fusions, it's kind of just, hey, play this deck that we want you to play, right? Like, for example, Fairy Tail, almost entirely playable. You can even play some Link monsters with it, like, because for some reason we also allowed Link monsters to exist. Like, look at the sheer quantity of Link monsters that they have. I understand that it's plus, and so therefore they added in, like, the fusion links that help with fusion summoning, right? Like Verte and Cross Sheep and all of that stuff, and Proxy F. Or like some hero stuff that's in here, right? Like Cross Crusader and Dread Decimator. There's also like the Ulti Retronari, which is, I guess, fine, right? But at that point, what's even the gimmick? There's not a gimmick. There's no reason to play this festival. It's just like, okay, here are some decks that we want you to play, so go play those decks. And it's not really an interesting idea. It's not like an interesting concept, right? A lot of the dual trials I find to have way more interesting and fun gimmicks that are worth playing, whereas a lot of the, like, actual full festivals that they're doing, like the Fusion XZ festivals, they're just not engaging from either a deck building or an actual gameplay perspective. Because from a deck building perspective, it's like, okay, you get everything that you could want from, like, a regular ranked deck. Like, you can play Branded in this. You can play Hero in this. Like, there's not really a whole lot of nuance when it comes to deck building. Like, it's pretty simple, right? If you look at the Branded deck, right? Okay, you have one Aluber, you have one Fallen of White, you have one Branded Fusion, you don't get your Synchros, but, like, other than that, it's pretty much just Branded, right? You still get to play it, you still get all of the other random stuff available to you, right? So, it still feels very similar to Ranked without any real delineation from Ranked. So why would I not just play Ranked, right? And that's the problem that I've had with a lot of these, especially dual extra deck mechanic events, because they don't feel unique enough. They don't feel like there's actually anything there. At least with one, like, if it's just Fusion, that's at least different enough, because even if Ranked would be a lot of that style of deck, right? Like, for Fusion, when Branded comes out, you know, you're still just playing a bunch of Branded. At the very least with that, you can look at it and go, okay, but it's only Fusion. But with Fusion XZ Plus, it's all just like, great, now you have Links and Fusions and XZs and all of this other stuff, and it basically just feels as if nothing changed. And it feels like there's not a point for me just loading this in as opposed to loading up Ranked, right? Very silly. Now, let's talk about Theme Chronicle, which is my personal favorite reoccurring of the events, right? Obviously, I still think NR is by far the best event that we've had, but Theme Chronicle, I think, is the best one that we get consistently. However, the reason I liked it at first, and the reason why it's one of my favorites, is because of the heavy limitation to it. It has an actual gimmick to it. You're just playing the solo mode decks. Fantastic. There's only a certain amount of solo mode decks. Fantastic. It's a pretty succinct ban list. And that's not really the case. Like, I can play Plunder, which is also a nice boon. I love Plunder, so anytime I get to play Plunder is nice. But if we actually look at the ban list, right, there are so many random decks that are available. Like, for example, Valmonica, totally untouched. Val Monica's not in the solo mode. It has nothing to do with solo mode. It has nothing to do, there's no animation on it or anything of that nature. There's no reason for it to exist, except for the fact that it's bad, right? Like, it's bad, therefore we can't, there's no point to banning it, so we'll just allow you to play Val Monica, right? But it's also not part of the gimmick, right? I mean, as much as I love Warrock as well, Warrock is totally playable. It shouldn't be, right? And for the most part, I think that that can be okay, right? Especially when it comes to actually bad decks like Warrock, where they might have just forgotten about the mere existence of that deck. However, it's still kind of disheartening to see like random other archetypes that probably shouldn't exist within this idea and this concept, right? Because it kind of sours the overall taste, for lack of a better term. Weird analogy. It works. So, all in all, though, I still like it. I still find it to be a good event. And this event, I think, is still pretty solid. I mean, if we look at Sky Striker has some heavy limitations to it, right? Widow Anchor's at 1, Kagari's at 1, Zero's at 1, Engage is at 1, Linkage is at 1. So a lot of the reasons to play Sky Striker, which would be far and away the best deck to play if it was unlimited, have been heavily nerfed, and I like that. I think that's a good addition. Orchist has a similar limitations, right? Both Girsu and Orchist Harp Horror have been limited to 1, so there's that. Granted, you still have Galatea, which I think should have probably just been banned. This card's kind of stupid. But alas. Yeah, the reason I say this as well is because they banned Almirage, but they didn't ban Galatea, so don't know why we banned Almirage when, if I'm not mistaken, Salamangreat is part of the event. Like, you could fully play Salad. I guess you can't play the Link Forest. Sure. But like, Salamangreat's available. You can play Salamangreat almost untouched. But they banned Almirage. Very silly. There's also like all of the Magistus stuff which is available, which is exclusively from the online anime thing, the like YouTube anime. So that's not solo mode, but I guess it still fits within the theme Chronicle idea. It still works. It's just interesting. But like, Alistair exists, Shaddoll is still there, even though Shaddoll has never shown up in solo mode. I think. Has Shaddoll? I don't think so, right? I don't know. I could be wrong. But there's a lot of stuff like that from specifically Dual Terminal, because we've done all of the like random Dual Terminal stuff that exists. So that's fun. That being said, I've kind of been harsh on it. That being said, I still like Theme Chronicle. I still think Theme Chronicle is fantastic. A lot of the advantage that Theme Chronicle has is, of course, the standard like event ban list, all of the bannings of like Maxi and the floodgates and all of that jazz, right? But on top of that, if we look at just the other random stuff that's banned, it's like, yeah, there's still a lot of really good stuff banned. There's just still a heavy ban list, and I think having an entirely different format that really does require, at least maybe not require, but incentivizes some deck building ideas and like trying to figure out how to play a newer format, I think that's always fun. So all in all, I still enjoy the Theme Chronicle, and they were definitely way more interesting than the XYZ Fusion Festival as far as games go, right? So for the most part, I still enjoyed it, and it was still a fun event. So it's Theme Chronicle. It's hard to mess up. Just conceptually, it's such a good idea. That being said, bring back the NR Festival. That truly was the greatest. Anyway, that's kind of all that I wanted to say. Just, I don't know. These festivals have gotten a lot worse. I really wish they had done the kind of the opposite with the festivals, and we had gotten the dual trial events that they do that are like weird and gimmicky, and those, especially the time travel ones, were full festivals. And then some of these festivals, especially the XYZ Synchro or whatever it is, the like random extra deck mechanic ones, were just like dual trial length, because that stuff's so boring. Anyway, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye bye.